We're live, maybe. I don't know. Probably in like 2 seconds, maybe now. It's good to be back. It's been like 10 days. I've been busy, man. Been fucking busy. But that's for another day for now. I just want to pull up the comments in case anyone watches and says any wild shit. Can you hear those birds? It's good. It's a good day. I was gonna play some songs. I don't know how to play them though, to be honest with you. So, shit. But today, we're gonna discuss being gentle with yourself. And, I don't know, finding ways that have helped me get unstuck and free, I guess, if you want to use that word. Be gentle, man. Be gentle. So if anyone's watching, let's start breathing, bro. Let's start breathing whenever you're into. So, happy Wednesday. Getting free and being gentle. I think being gentle to me is about allowing yourself space to succeed, fuck up, grow, enjoy, dislike, be bored. It's really about allowing yourself to kind of go through these modes. I think we get caught a lot in the doing and not doing, and we don't give our brain enough time to pause and recalibrate, because it's always working on stuff. It's perceiving light, it's perceiving sound, it's thinking of ideas, it's thinking of your reality right now, and it's working on stuff in the background that you're not even cognizant of. So being gentle in the sense of really caring and taking care. It's like treating yourself like someone you're looking after and trying to facilitate the best for that person and trying to help them grow and watching them do counterintuitive things and counterproductive things and still loving them and moving with them and helping them continue. Hello. Yeah. Being gentle. See, I feel like I should change the title, because being gentle with yourself and finding freedom, I think, are very synonymous. And I think a lot of us tend to think we're going to find freedom in spite of whatever's going on, or once we will finally get to the freedom once. But I think freedom lies in the fact that this is all happening, and if you let it come and let it go, just like the tides and like the cycle of the day, you get to kind of sit back and watch it for what it really is, instead of getting caught up in the real nitty gritty melodramatic drama of it. And I've been much more gentle with myself lately and trying to really trust myself. And it's scary. It's fucking terrifying, because I don't think anyone else is like aware of the fact that maybe I am being gentle with myself. It seems like a lot of people think I'm being quite harsh with myself. Um, but it was really harsh living outside of what I should have been, outside of what I should have been doing. It's like I was doing a bunch of things to keep certain things going while ultimately not keeping service to the main mission of whatever's going on here, whatever I'm doing here. And the whole point, I think, of these spiritual and philosophical questions are questions that lead to just more gentle understanding. Just an understanding that everything's happening and it's great and it's all happening, but it's happening at many levels. And you can not necessarily pick and choose, but you can see what things influence you to be watching it all happen from certain levels. And whether that's watching it from this is my body, this is my life, oh my god, I've got to do all this stuff, I've got to run around and do things, or sitting back and going, wow, isn't that crazy that I'm in this part of my life, this cycle, I just got this promotion, or I just lost my job, or the storyline is pretty clear from the moment of what's happening if you listen to the context cues. We may as well enjoy it, whatever your role may be, and be gentle with identity and understanding that it's very transient and you will play many roles throughout the day. When I wake up, usually the first thing I am is someone that needs to pee, or someone that doesn't want to get out of bed. And then, a few moments later, I'm someone who's brushing their teeth. Like, it rolls and it changes, and we don't have to be so caught in the actor. We've all seen our favorite actors really go through it mentally in terms of having to deal with how many masks they put on and portray and really conceptualize and bring to life within themselves. And I think characters are real. You play roles, you really identify with those. And if you get too lost in it, if you can't separate reality from imagination, it'll take you over. Because that's how powerful the mind is. If you decide to be someone, there it will be. And I find the gentler I become with myself and the gentler I become with life, the more responsive life is to the things that I'm like asking for or wanting or desiring. Or no, I think it's beyond that. You start to want and desire the things that you are before you even know that's what they are. And then opportunities come, and if you're ready to take them at that moment, they're there for you. But if you aren't being gentle enough with life, like in the way you would hold a flower, or the way you would look at a ladybug as it landed on you, just very gently, life will reveal very interesting little twists and turns along the path. And I think a lot of what I've been doing at the moment is just coming to terms with that and really settling in and becoming rooted in my being, myself. Like, I felt like I kind of needed things to keep me centered, and now I'm really just it's just coming to me that no, you're right here. There's nowhere I could be except right here in the middle of my chest. Like, whether I'm doing this or I'm making coffee or doing something, trying to design something or trying to sit down and read something or understand something. I'm right in here. I'm just in here, just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, blood circulating, pressure rising, sound. Okay, here we are. I've been quite airy-fairy in my life, but very recently I think I've come to understand the importance of having roots, and I'm finding it, it's funny, I've been trying to get high all my life essentially, and whether that's spiritually or through music or art or skateboarding or drugs or food or people, whatever vehicle that takes at the time. I tend to shift a lot and I flow, and I think I've found a good little base of who I am recently, but very, very recently, the last couple of weeks, I've decided and been cast into this thing where my roots have been thoroughly set in. I got a cat maybe a couple months ago, and I remember the first feeling for the week that I had that cat was just like, fuck, I'm responsible for you. Like looking into her eyes, looking at me, and she's pretty old, so she's looking at me like, wow, it's us two? We're gonna ride it out? I get to watch her probably pass on into the next one and give her a good little celebratory, reverent send-off. That kind of got sad and dark for a second, but I'm trying to say it because having roots has let me reach much higher, and I think my spiritual journey, I hate saying things like that sometimes, but is currently manifesting in reality instead of the spirituality, which is cool. It's just cool. It's kind of teaching me to throw out everything I know in terms of method. My life is my method at the moment. I'm here to serve and create new and better things. I think we can do a lot better for ourselves as people, as organizations of intelligence. You know, there's only one good way to make language better or innovate new ideas, essentially, and it's just to say new and exciting things to one another. It's the only way to make language evolve. And I think we've come a long way with the internet and social media and the connectivity, but I liken social media to like a drug. Like cannabis is really nice, but smoking is probably not ideal for the lungs. Do you know what I mean? There are pluses and negatives in delivery methods. And I think social media is a really horrible delivery message for entertainment, information, truth, understanding. I don't think social media does a very good job at handling truth. Just because the truth is complicated. You can't have the truth in a tweet or in a fucking TikTok, you know. Nothing against either of those places and ways of being, but it's really hard to understand what someone's saying in that amount of time, and it's really hard to convey a concise message in that time, depending on what you're into. But yeah, being gentle and finding freedom. Finding freedom for me right now is just finding modes of life to be in that make make me need to go back to that, and things that make me feel without self. The more that I let life kind of fill me, the more I feel energized, the more I feel, well, yeah, let's go there, let's do that, let's facilitate this, let's build on this, and let's get it moving and flowing and synchronized and resonant and energetically all interacting with each other and ourselves. Yeah, getting free. One of my favorite methods of getting free is chanting. I'm gonna go on a chanting rant for a bit because I fucking love it. But mantra, mind vehicle, is what it means. Is just a meditation on a sound or a thought or a vibration, essentially. So a lot of people teach classic meditation. I think I did one here focusing on the breath. But another really useful method is mantra. And if you've got a partner that is far enough out to do this with you, it's a really groovy experience for 2 or more people to do. Is just be near each other and chant together and hear that resonance and the feeling of that energy, the vibratory experience flow between one another. And I think mind vehicle is pretty accurate. It really does just take your mind from wherever it was somewhere else. It moves it. It like centers everything. When I chant Ram, which is a common chant, it feels like I sweep all the stuff in my brain into piles, and it just kind of all condenses. And then once it stops, it's like, wow, there's so much space. It's so quiet. How beautiful is that? What are we gonna do about this? And saying it out loud, like chanting, just pumps oxygen through the body, keeps the whole thing moving, pumping, keeps the energetic flow, especially the physical stuff in you moving, to keep you alert and aware and feeling all those sensations of all that flow going through your body. And then you get to really harmonize and resonate with your diaphragm as it's moving inside you, and you get to just let it. It's very easy then to see that you're doing the chant and that the chant is happening to you, and you get to play with that edge there. And it's fun. It might take a second, but you'll get to that point where you're chanting and you're like, wow, yeah, that is really just happening. If I just let it happen, it will just keep happening, and I get to sit back and go, wow. You just get to sink a little deeper into that sensation. And then, like, my favorite way chanting ends, like if I'm lucky enough for it to be that way, it ends and everything's still kind of vibrating, but it's all like, oh, it's so quiet and everything else is going on, but you're so internally connected. And that makes you more connected with the external. We process information everywhere in the body. So if you aren't paying attention to what your legs are doing, you're missing out on sensory information that could be important or could be insightful. You might miss your enlightenment because you weren't paying attention to your pinky toe. It's kind of far out there, but it sounded right. But chanting kind of fits in with breath work in that when you do it aloud, there are certain chants I'll do that seem kind of longer. So I'll go like, I'll chant and then chant, so it kind of gets the out breath going and short in breath. So it's emulating things that you would do in breath work and emulating ways you're going to be in life. I think that's what breath work does essentially. It sensitizes you inward to the sensations that you'd feel in life. So then when you start getting stressed in the day, if you did your breath work in the morning, you're already there. You're already in that state chemically, and you were calm. So when it starts to happen at work, you'll be sitting there and you might feel it. You'll be like, oh, so calm. And you get to be a little gentler with yourself. You get to go, wait a minute, there's those sensations. The last couple of days have been turning like anxiety into excitement. And I'm lucky. I have been mindful enough to recognize excitement. Recognize the anxiety early enough and just been like, I'm anxious, but if I flip that, because it's things I should be doing, because I'm intuitively in line with where I should be in my life right now, well, I'm more excited than anxious. If it fucks up, like, there's some stuff on the line, but essentially, like, I just have to go for this, for the other things I've got going in my life, which I'll let you guys know about soon. But everything's just happening. And if I just let go and let back and let it happen, let it, give it the space to breathe, give life the space to dance with me. I've been trying to get it to in the right, and it's like, dude, no, okay. Let her lead, you lead, switch leads, and play around with it with freestyle, and nobody knows what's going on. I want to shout out an Instagram real quick if anyone's interested. One of the things I like about finding freedom is if you really want freedom, it becomes pretty clear that whatever your identity is keeping you from being free a lot of the time. If you define who you are, you can't be free because you're that instead of all of it. But this Instagram page has my favorite spiritual term for what they decided to be. Do you know, like, identify as, I guess? And they're hiding it from me. But, you know, I would probably most identify with the term yogi, or I think that's probably it. If I was going to identify as a religion, maybe Hindu, but I heard that that's like a race, or like you can't be Hindu unless you're born Hindu, and I was like, but it speaks to me the most, so I don't know anymore. I don't know. But this dude, I'll put them in the description, but Camptons.world on Instagram. It's quantum spirituality. Because when you look at quantum physics, and I'm not a physicist, so I don't fucking listen to any of the things that I have to say about how the universe works, because it's probably correct, and that's not useful because you need misinformation. But all these particles here are vibrating at different frequencies and speeds. This glass and that phone, it's all just vibrating at that rate because the energy has habitually moved itself into these formations over time. Physicists don't even know if this stuff exists or it doesn't exist yet. You know, like, the fact that we take all this so intuitively seriously, like this is reality, when there's clearly many, many, many other modes of being. And I think being gentle is a really good way to become open, and I think being open is really where true freedom lies. True freedom. Yeah, I think that might be me. That felt good. I feel good. I hope you guys feel good. I'm going to try and do this more often, but I've been super busy. I'll update you guys on what I'm doing in my life. I started a cafe. I'm about to start teaching yoga. So if you live in Brisbane, come through. And if you're watching this in like 2 months from now, and you'll be like, why was this dude talking to no one on his live stream like he was famous? Well, I'm famous now. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really want to be famous, but it'd be cool if yoga was the new rock and roll, or the new hip hop, or the new cultural wave. That's really what I'm trying to do, is make it mainstream to be chanting in the street, singing love songs to the universe. So, I think we got it. Come to a free yoga class and buy a coffee from me. I'll see you soon. Bye. That's cool. Still going.